Fellow Agilists, I recently took part in the Agile Confessional podcast with Giles Lindsay. This podcast explores the Agile sins that people have committed in a confessional format, and for me, there have been many. I've fortunately been granted absolution for my Agile sins. However, as penitence, I agreed with Giles to confess my 7 Agile sins on video to those who wish to hear them. So let's start. Firstly, I've been guilty of the Agile sin of being slothful, of resting on my Agile laurels, so to speak, and not making time for my own personal development. As Agile practitioners, we often encourage those we work with to be continuously learning, to be inspecting and adapting. However, I have on more than one occasion been guilty of not doing this myself. I have wrongfully believed that I knew enough to get by, that I was an expert, that I perhaps didn't need to make time for learning new approaches or concepts, or even to challenge myself, and I have since learned otherwise. But how can you avoid committing the Agile sin of being slothful yourself? Firstly, I definitely recommend seeking mentorship. You are never too senior to benefit from a mentoring relationship, particularly from someone who doesn't always agree with you or challenges your perceptions. Engage in communities of practice. I personally am most involved in the hands-on Agile, a Slack community of practice with thousands of other fellow practitioners who regularly challenge me to think differently and to learn more. Carve out time on a weekly basis to try new things, to read and digest new content. It can be all too easy in this remote working world to allow meeting after meeting to get in the way. So make the time, block it out in your diary and stick to it. Lastly, to quote Ari Van Bennekom, Agile is an ambition, not a state. Aspire to be more agile, to learn more and to live and breathe the principles that you profess to those that you work with. Tomorrow, look out for the Agile sin of lust, or me coveting for something that others had, and don't stop believing, folks.